Hey loves, welcome back to Day Spills Tea. I, of course, am the lovely Day. And last night on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Melody was wrong. She was wrong. She was a troublemaker. She was out of pocket. And honestly, I wasn't here for it. I was not able to be Team Mel. And more lately, I'm finding myself moving way far away from the whole Team Mel thing. Anyways, before we jump into it, you already know what I want. I want you to hit the thumbs up button. Show me a little bit of love. Leave some comments down below because I like to give you my opinion, but more than anything, I want to hear yours. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. And if you are subscribed and you've been watching along with me, thank you so much for riding with me. I know it's been rough and it's been inconsistent. I've been trying and all of that, but I appreciate that y'all always show me grace. Thank you so much for that. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the episode picks up, they're still in Vegas and they're at the pool. Kimmy then got all the way tired of the Scotts, really Tisha and her family, but now Marceau too. And Marceau is saying that Kimmy never sees that Jalen is being wrong. And Kimmy basically admits like, yes, he's wrong. And, you know, him kind of being rude to Tisha in the text messages was wrong as well. So she's able to go ahead and admit that. So her and Marceau are cool. And then Tisha surprised us yet again. She already surprised us when she talked back to her mama, but she surprised us yet again and apologized to Kimmy and says she now sees that she can't keep coming back to her with mess that everybody else is saying. She understands now how draining it would be trying to be friends with her when you constantly coming to me telling me that you mad about something that you heard. And she should know Kimmy better than to believe some of the stuff she was hearing. That's all fine and good. And I really appreciate her apologizing. But she says she sees it now. So when did you see it? Like, did you see it long ago and you just was holding on to this because you just wanted to be mad at Kimmy for whatever reasons you were getting something out of that? When did you see it? Did you see it only after Kimmy said she understands that Jalen can sometimes be wrong? Like, when did you see it? Because I feel like you always known Kimmy ain't did nothing to you, but you just felt this, for whatever reason, desire to fight with her. Maybe because Kimmy is just kind of cool as hell and very, very likable and a fan favorite. And maybe you just really don't appreciate that. I don't know. I'm sure we'll come back to it. But right now I'm just speculating. Anyways, so they go in the house and they're eating the next morning. You know, Kimmy's making food and Marceau is asking her for special orders. I don't know why he swear Kimmy is his second wife. But I think he's one of those who just feels like women in general are like supposed to serve. And I've definitely known some men like that coming up. But anyway, so at the breakfast table, Kimmy asks if Melody is coming. And so they were all kind of like saying that she was being shady. And I didn't feel like she was being shady at all. She wanted to know if Melody is coming. So they talk about that for a couple seconds. And then Maurice said something to Martell about had he been in touch with Destiny. Because, of course, he and Destiny had been friends, but then they were kind of falling out. And Tiffany, on the other side of Martell, who nobody is talking to her, chimes in and says, I thought you were talking about your baby mama. And Martell's like, I'm in contact with her, you know, every day. Yep. Or whatever. And he's like, let's go. And he's ready to talk about it because he's assuming she's talking about Ariane because that's his baby mama. And so Tiffany is like, well, she was talking about Melody, talking about you have 4 children with her or whatever, kids with her or whatever. And he's like, Melody's not my baby mama. That's my ex-wife. Melody has been all team Tiffany. She's been all team Tiffany. Tiffany don't do nothing wrong. I really want to know how Melody's going to feel when she watches the playback and sees where Tiffany is referring to her as Martell's baby mama. And no shade against anyone who is someone's child's mother or called baby mama. But I think we all understand that there's a difference in the title. You know, if you are someone's wife or you, and I pray I'm not offending anybody, but if you are someone's wife, that's a different relationship. A baby mama could be somebody who did all the wifely responsibilities and received all the wifely benefits, but it can also be someone who you simply were intimate with and conceived a child with. So to say that about Melody, who was married to this man for 10 plus years and raised with him 4 children, okay, with him in the same house, who had intermingled families, to call her his baby mama, I think was disrespectful. And if it were me, I would feel disrespected. And watching Tiffany in her confessional where she said, I'm not being shady. She got 1, 2, 3, 4 of his kids. That's his baby mama. You meant to be disrespectful. That's the part that you can't recover from. For me, when it comes with friends, if you do something that hurts my feelings, okay, I can get over it. I can get over it because I understand that your intention wasn't to hurt me. But once I know that your goal was to be disrespectful, it's a wrap. And her goal was to be disrespectful with that. She absolutely meant to be disrespectful in referring to her as his baby mama. Anyways, if you can't tell yet, if you haven't been watching my channel, I don't like her. Let's see what else happened. So as Kimmy is like cleaning up after breakfast and stuff, she starts a conversation with Martell. And she's asking him if he thinks he and Melody will ever get back together. Kimmy, where is that coming from? Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you know that that's not what Mel wants. And I don't know. I feel like you know that that's not what Mel wants. And I'll leave it at that. So then we get this scene of Tiffany and Lewis, and they're like making the bed. And she starts complaining to him about how he didn't allow her to be there when her son got his first big chop. So you're listening to the son's voice on the phone. He sounds like a whole 20-year-old. It's not like we're talking about a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old. So I'm immediately like, oh, okay. She don't want us to get into the real drama behind the scenes of her and Lewis's relationship. So she's going to force this little fake, little whack, little drama on us and try and make this like her storyline. Ma'am, your storyline and your relationship woes are not going to be the extent of Lewis doing stuff with the boys without you. Okay, so don't think you're getting off that easy, because that's exactly what that feels like. It's like, well, I know I have to have some storyline. I have to give the people some drama about my life. So I'm going to make up this thing about I'm upset that I didn't get to be there when he got his first big chop and he like 30 years old. Get out of here with that. Anyway, so then she tells him he's got to make it up to her, and she starts trying to be sexy and coy. Why do you keep doing that? She keeps trying, the two of them, they're trying to sell us on this idea that we like rabbits and we sexy and we, ooh, what you gonna give me? Stop. Y'all are not the couple that anybody wants to think about in that way. Y'all are not the couple that anybody wants to think about in that way. Okay. Stop doing that. You don't have to drop any more innuendos. You don't have to call him sexy in front of us. You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to say he owes you favors. None of that. We're not here for it. Not at all. So then Mel goes and tries to start a little drama with Tisha, and it's kind of like telling Tisha that, like she didn't really appreciate her not letting her know that Martell was going to be there. Melody, you knew Martell was going to be there. Like, come on. Like, I don't even know why you addressing this nonsense when you knew he was going to be there. You wanted Destiny to be there because you knew Martell was going to be there. And Tisha's like, okay, his name was on the text. So that was a little dry, little beef for nothing. But I did find it interesting that they didn't tell Melody that they invited Tiffany and Lewis, since Tiffany is supposed to be Melody's friend. That was interesting to me. So then they are leaving to go on Tisha's surprise adventure. So she rented a couple of sprinters. The men get on one, the ladies get on another. On the men's sprinter, they almost immediately start talking real heavy about marriage and divorce. And, the thing is they saw Martell have to give Melody like a little side hug, like a little church hug. And Marceau is like, how you side hug your wife? And Maurice is like, that's his ex-wife. And so Martell made a good point. He's like, yeah, we have to call it what it is. Like, we have to draw those borders and guidelines because, we tried to do the back and forth thing before we got divorced and it didn't work. And so now we are just simply divorced. And Marceau is trying to drop this knowledge about how all couples go through divorceable moments. It's just whether or not you decide to stay. And it sounds like he's under the assumption that you stay at all costs. And I got to tell you, As somebody who's been married for 25 years, and I hope to be married to the same person for the rest of my life, there are absolutely some marriages that do not need to continue on. He talked about the fact that he had gotten advice from his aunt on his wedding day, and she was saying that they stayed for the kids and that she was so grateful that they had the kids because that's what made her stay. I'm glad that worked out for your aunt and your uncle, but that is not great advice. Sometimes you stay for the kids. Meanwhile, you got the kids living in a whole ass toxic household and you're damaging them and screwing them all the way the hell up. And that's not healthy for anybody. And then still years and years and years later down the line, you might still end up divorced and all y'all did was waste each other's time and damage these kids. So no, sometimes divorceable moments are just that. And they mean that you don't need to be together anymore. Some people simply hurt each other repeatedly. And so Marceau is like, well, I've had several divorceable moments in my marriage. We just chose to stay. Care to elaborate? Inquiring minds would love to know. What were these so-called divorceable moments? Do tell. We're on a reality show. But of course he wasn't about to say that. But I don't think he and Tisha have really had seriously divorceable moments. I think that divorceable moments, one, would be defined by each couple or really each individual. What's a divorceable moment to me might not be a divorceable moment to him, and vice versa. Some people say cheating is not a deal breaker. Some people are like, it's the absolute utmost disrespect and I can never get past it. So Marceau, meanwhile, you walking around with blinders on, and from what we saw, especially with the conversation with Tisha and Maurice later, sounds like your wife is sitting at home all the way unhappy. So what you might consider to be a situation where you're going to stay in spite of divorceable moments, your wife may not feel the same. Anyways, let's see what else. Mel is in the ladies' truck, and she's saying how she's not ready to be actual friends with Martell. I respect that. She's saying she values the actual true essence of the word friends, and friends comes with certain expectations, and she doesn't trust Martell. I hate all of these M's. She doesn't trust Martell to truly be able to be her friend. I completely understand it. And I think sometimes when you properly name things, you treat them as you should. And that's probably best for her. So they get to the surprise, and the surprise is slingshots. I want to drive a slingshot so bad. I see them all the time, and I'm always thinking how much I want to ride one. But anyway, so they get to the surprise, and there's slingshots. Destiny then arrives, and so they all go out on the slingshots. They are having a great time. Everybody's taking selfies and videos and all of that. Before they pulled off, Tisha went to kiss Marceau, and he licked her face. I was so happy to see that because normally he doesn't show her any sexual attraction. We all saw her in the hotel room in her lingerie, and she was looking cute, heels, all of that. And he was like, yeah, I got to go to work. So I was really happy to see him do something that showed that there is some sexual chemistry there. Even when she announced to him that she wanted to do this trip, he gave her a church hug and talked about how much he couldn't wait to be there with his bros. Anyways, I was happy to see that because I want them to end up happy and strong. I want all of the couples to end up happy and strong. Then there was another scene too where Tisha is talking about Melody and Martell. I think it was right after Melody asked her about, not telling her that Martell was going to be there. And Tisha starts talking about how maybe I've been holding out hope that they're going to get back together. I don't know what kind of friends y'all are, but I don't like that. If I say I don't want to be with him, if I say this is not good for me, then ride for whatever is best for me, not what's most comfortable for you. If it's best for me to have this toxic person out of my life, then ride for that. I had someone very close to me who divorced her husband of 18 years, something like that. And I wanted them to stay together. That was, I felt like this was our little unit and everything. And I wanted so badly for them to be together. But once she told me, listen, no, that's not good for me. I don't want that. I'm not sad about it. Like, you know, like I'm sad that it didn't work out, but I'm not sad to have lost that. This is the best thing for me. That person never heard a peep out of me again. Because no, if that's not what you want, that's not what you need, who am I to be still pushing for it to satisfy my own level of comfort? No. So Tisha and Kimmy, stop doing that. And it really, really feels like y'all are doing that because you want the show to go on and you're afraid that if they're not together, the show won't continue. But put your friend first, if she's really your friend. Okay? Because y'all can figure something else out about this show. You know, you don't force her. Don't try to force that. Anyways, so they go ahead and do the slingshots. Everybody has a great time. And then they drive up. It looks like they kind of went up like maybe like towards some mountains or something where they could have like a really good view. So they went to like an open park or whatever. And Melody decides that she just wants to raise a little hell. So she pulls Martell aside and he's in a good mood. Everyone is in a good mood. And I guess Melody say, well, honey, it ain't been no drama on this episode. I need to bring it. So she pulls Martell aside and asks him, where are the kids? Okay, fair question. Sure, I'll allow it. And he lets her know that they're with his mom. And his mom actually took off work to be able to take care of the kids so that he could come on this trip. And she was like, oh, okay, good. That's nice that she did that for you. And then she adds in, well, I was shooting my video. That was so unnecessary. You did not need to add that piece of information. That had nothing to do with nothing. I was shooting my video and he's like, you mean for that Bush song? I completely understood his response. Would I have responded the same way? Probably not, because I have a little bit more self-control, a little bit more impulse control than he might have. But she absolutely intended that to be a dig at him. You know the song is about him. Even if it's about bits and pieces from other people, it's about him, okay? You know that he's not going to be excited and happy about this. You know that this was going to incite a riot. You know that this was going to light a match under this man. You did not need to bring up the video. So she brings up the video and he becomes upset automatically, right? And then she says, I apologize to Brittany on your behalf and mine. Explain to me why this conversation exists. Oh, ratings. It was so much better when it was more authentic. Or at least when we believed it was authentic. But no, like this was so seriously just unnecessary. Why did you go to this man and start this argument? So she tells him that she went to apologize to Brittany. He's acting like he don't know who Brittany is. And then the next thing you know, they sound like brother and sister, all at 12 years old, arguing and fighting over the remote control. Like they're just screaming and yelling, you shut up, you shut up, you shut the hell up, you shut the hell up. It's just so embarrassing. It's so tiring. Why do y'all do this to each other? And so Maurice is like getting Martell and he's telling him like, this is that moment. Like, cause when they were on the bus, he was telling he was trying to prep Martell. All the guys kind of were. They were like, you know, if things go left with Mel, how are you going to handle it? And Maurice told him, you know, if things go left, you need to take a break. Move away. Like, don't get into a situation where you say stuff you're going to regret. And of course he gets right there. But I understand this woman provoked him knowing his personality, knowing he was going to explode. Anyways, so Melody starts talking about, you want to see my song? Y'all want to see my video? Everybody want to see let's look at it. I can show everybody a clip. They want to see it. They want to see it. And so now she's dragging the ladies into it because they want to support her, but this is nonsense. This is out of pocket. So she's screaming and yelling in her high-pitched voice and all of this, trying to show her little video or whatever. And it's just like, ma'am, they don't really care to see that video. Like, they trying to be supportive, but the song is it's cute. It's a cute song, but it's not like it's a bop, okay? They don't want to see this video in the middle of you arguing with the man that the video is about. So Tisha is trying to tell her, like, do you really think that you should be showing this in front of him? And Kimmy is like, you're being antagonizing. And she wants to now play the victim. Ma'am, you're already the victim. We already know what he did. But you becoming the villain doesn't help the situation. And no, I'm not saying she is a villain. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that she created this particular situation unnecessarily. So then now don't be talking about what he's doing and what he's been doing, because everything was going well. People were enjoying the trip until this moment that you created. Anyways, so Maurice is like, Martell is like, he's out of pocket. He's messing up. He's doing terrible. And I'm like, really, that's how I feel about Melody in this moment. I was really, really annoyed. I was really, really annoyed with this woman for bringing this drama on everybody else's good trip. And Martell is like, the trip was going fine till you got here. And I'm thinking like, he ain't lie though. So he is screaming that his children had been singing this song since long before they ever divorced. And she's correcting him, saying that it was a different song that she had written. I don't know the lyrics to the second song. She said it was called Down. But from what I gather, it probably was still negatively about him. So he's still frustrated about it. And she's saying he's mad. He keeps calling me Beyonce because he's mad that I have a singing career. He's mad that I have a singing career. Y'all, who gonna break it to her that she don't have a singing career? You ever watch Shark Tank and somebody made like one little product that could go on the shelf at Walmart and all the sharks tell them, this is not a business, it's a product? Man, the song is cute, it's catchy, and it's mostly only interesting because we know the history. But you do not have a singing career. No one is really like waiting for a project to drop. You know what I mean? Like, you're not about to host the VMAs or the BET Awards. You're definitely not about to headline. You're doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, but let's call it what it is. He is not upset that you have a singing career. He might not want to see you happy. He might not be happy that you're being successful in any light. But honey, it's not about a singing career. So then lastly, Miss I'm Not Insecure goes to Maurice and tells him to keep an eye on Marceau. She says, Marceau's been on cloud 9 and he's having so much fun, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I see these girls are watching. Girl, if you don't grow up, I can understand if you're concerned. If you're concerned, then that's something that you and Marceau need to get past together. Don't involve Maurice in that mess. And telling Maurice to watch him does absolutely nothing. Marceau is a grown man. He's going to do what he's going to do. And if he does something flaky and silly and stupid, Maurice don't owe you no loyalty. He's going to be loyal to his brother. He's not coming back to tell you. He's not reporting back to you. He's not. That's his brother. And he and his brother are like this. So, like, I don't even understand why you would go to him with that. But then Maurice is like, you know, is that why you did like the surprise therapy? And so she's like, well, it's working. Ma'am, y'all went to one session. It's not working. It's not working. And so Maurice asked her, like, is he going back again? And she says she just hasn't booked another session. And she goes, at least we're having date night now. And I'm just thinking, Marceau is saying like the relationship is great and there's nothing going wrong and, you know, we're never going to get divorced. But your wife is hyped that y'all finally have a date night. Like, y'all not even, it sounds like y'all not even kicking it. Like, y'all barely being a couple. Like, I don't know, the way she said, at least we have date night now. And we know that date night for him was like damn near a chore. It's just like, where is the actual marital relationship? Where is the friendship? Where is the sensuality? Where is the chemistry? Is it just you raising kids and him putting food on the table? But Maurice asking, has it gotten better, means to me like maybe Tisha has been coming to him, telling him how things are not good. And if things are not good, Marceau needs to get on board and understand that some changes might need to be made, because like I said before, things may not be divorceable to him, but they could end up being divorceable to her. So anyways, I'm sure we'll see some more about that in coming weeks or hopefully in coming years or something. I don't know. I hope they get it figured out, though. I hope Marceau understands that he has to do a better job of considering her feelings, and she's got to do a better job of actually articulating them and not necessarily trying to do stuff like surprise counseling, because I just thought that was really whack. Anyways, so that's all I got. The episode was actually really entertaining to me. I especially liked seeing everybody happy and getting along in the time that they were happy and getting along. What I did not like is Tiffany. I roll my eyes every time I see her. I do not like her at all. I don't like her voice. I don't like the way she speaks. And I definitely don't like her and her husband trying to be sexy to us. I don't like it at all. Even in one of their confessionals, he said something, and she was like, you must want something. Ugh. Anyways, let me know y'all thoughts. I enjoyed the episode. Annoyed with Melody, annoyed with Tiffany, but overall I did enjoy the episode. So let me know what you thought about it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.